So this week is a big week. If you are an Ohio State football fan, I am a giant Ohio State football fan. And this is the week that we play what we call the Team Up North. Um, those of us that are from Ohio or Ohio State fans, we just don't like even mentioning their name. It kind of goes back to the old coach Woody Hayes. He was not a fan of even saying their name. So they were referred to as that Team Up North. And Ohio State's coach is this guy, Ryan Day. And Ryan Day was talking about in a news conference about just focus on yourself and telling the guys on the team to just focus on yourself. And I got a call this week from my son. He had a pretty tough test that he was doing. It was in organic chemistry, which folks that know, that's not an easy class to do. And my son was talking about other people that had taken the test that hadn't done well, or in the class itself that hadn't done well. And I know that he started studying a couple weeks in advance, and he again, a lot of stuff I'm talking about, like the factors of taking this test and the challenges with it, and then also kind of the history of people not doing well in this class, it being a weeding out type of class for people that are like him, that's trying to get into a dental program here in the next year and a half. By the way, I'm going to work on my curls. I'm doing some concentration curls as part of my own what's the word I'm looking for, but resistance training that I'm doing here. So, all right, 3 sets, 6 to 10 reps. I placed my elbow against my leg here, and I'm not leaning into this. The pressure is supposed to stay here on my arm, not on my back. So, and again, I'm looking for 6 to 10 repetitions on there. And I don't know why my arm's feeling funny. So, again, I keep my elbow up against there rested, and that's what keeps it focused on here. So. All right, so take it back to focusing on yourself. In college football, especially if you're a team like Ohio State, the team this season in 2025 is 11-0. They have this history of losing to that team that I don't like to say as a true fan. And they lost to them 4 times in a row. And even last year, they were considered to be 20-point favorites, and they end up losing by 3 points. And I won't go into why I think they lost that game, but I think in life, there are a lot of times that you can focus on everybody else, focus on what everybody's saying, focus on what people are typing or chatting, rumors that are going on, gossip that's going on. And the reality is there's always situations that you can't control them per se. The only thing that you can do is control yourself. The only thing you can do is focus on yourself. So when it comes to, for example, my son and doing his test, the only thing that he needs to do is just focus on his studies, focus on learning the materials, chatting with or studying with, let's say, other students that know it, meeting with, talking with the professor about ideas to be prepared for the test. And again, just focus on what you can do, what you can control. And that's advice that, I've been thinking about. It's like, gosh, I really need to say that to my son and tell him that. Again, imagine he's a biomedical science student. The classes are already challenging. There are probably all kinds of people that get started with that. I'm going to be a dentist or a doctor or something. And then, all the challenges of that level of study, that level of schoolwork gets in the way. And I could see that just being difficult. I'm going to work on my shoulders here. On this exercise here, I really need to make sure I'm not straining or hurting my back. It's going to be working my shoulders. So there's different ways you can do it. You can do this like out front, or you can do it out the side. I like to put a little bend in my knee, make sure I'm keeping my back, relatively straight here. And I'm going out. So it's kind of like a fly, but it goes out to the side here. Working my deltoids or shoulders. Probably working a little bit of my back up near the top there. Oh, man. Oh, and I dropped my weight way down on this just because I want to make sure my form is good, because that is really what's going to make the exercise work. Oh yeah, there we go. Again, I'm going to do 3 sets, 6 to 10 reps with that. If I was trying to do something to bulk up, then I'm going to push the weight up higher and do less repetitions, less reps. So going back to my son, I think about how challenging that program is. If you just Google, what salaries that people make that are dentists and doctors and orthodontists and oral surgeons and, these types of positions, which we are looking at that, partly because I'm talking to my younger son about these things, but with those kind of salaries or those kind of paychecks potential that's out there, not that it's not difficult to do dental school or medical school or those types of items, or any kind of, let's say, master's program. But people look at the paycheck, and then the competition level now goes through the roof. The number of people that want to try to get into these different schools, and dental schools, as we've been studying, has just limited space, limited spots that are available. And again, I go back to this thing that Coach Day talked about, which was focus on yourself, focus on you. You don't need to focus on the rest of the world. Focus on some student that's better than you. Focus on somebody that had a better admission test, acceptance test score than you. Focus on somebody that is, just a better student, better at studying. That part's not important. Focus on yourself. Focus on what you can control. And honestly, I know my son's an adult. He's 21 years old, but that's just advice for everybody else, just even out in the real world. It's advice for myself is, I had plans of being this successful and that successful, and those things didn't exactly happen that way. And I've talked about that before, but that doesn't matter. I focus on what I can control. I have great family. I have great friendships. I've made friends on YouTube here, and those are things I can control. And oops, I just hit my microphone. So I just focus on myself and focus on being better, focus on improving, whatever it is in life, being a better husband, being a better father. And then, of course, I'm somebody with faith, and I believe in Jesus, and I focus on my faith and pray and ask for help with things. So thanks for joining me here on my video. I'm going to keep my workout going, and I think I'm going to do some planks today. Oh yeah. I'm going to cut to a video. I did a hike this weekend, and we summited at a pretty good sized hill out here, and it was beautiful. So thanks for watching. Oh boy, my hike this morning. working for it this morning. Holy moly.